A member of the Executive Committee of South Africa's ruling party, the African National Congress, Winnie Madikizela ranks high in the circles of anti-apartheid activists who refused to submit to white domination from her youthful days. In fact, 1 year after her engagement with freedom fighter and later President Nelson Mandela in 1958, she took part in a mass protest against pass laws in Johannesburg. Pass laws required non-Europeans to carry identification documents at all times. At the end of the protest, 1,000 ANC women had been taken into police custody, and Winnie was among them. To demonstrate their protest further, they all refused to file for bail and opted to stay 14 days in jail. Winnie was pregnant with her first child, Zenani, who would be followed by Zendisizwe. The prison experience further hardened her defiant attitude, but also put her on the security grid as a potential preacher of the anti-apartheid message. The late Lillian Ngoyi was the leader of ANC Women then, a post Winnie assumed in 1993 and 1997. Prison, confinement and banishment became a part of Winnie after her husband Mandela was arrested in 1961 and handed a life sentence in 1962 over treason-related charges. Winnie remained vulnerable to aggressive and violent government forces, which she took time learning to navigate. Winnie would often be restricted, like in 1962 when she was confined within the frontiers of Johannesburg. She was not allowed to address any gathering of more than 2 people. When allowed to visit Mandela at Robben Island, she would travel over 1,400 kilometers from Johannesburg to Robben Island, near Cape Town. In 1965, restrictions became even tougher. Winnie was not allowed to move beyond her neighborhood in Orlando, West Johannesburg. She gave up her job as a social worker and struggled to keep her 2 daughters in school. In 1969, she was a victim of preventive arrest and spent 17 months in solitary confinement. When court granted her freedom, she was immediately handed another ban of 5 years. She couldn't leave home or visit her imprisoned husband. She joined youth and activists to redeem jailed activists. In 1977, she was banished to the remotest village in Free State for 5 years. The whole of South Africa knew about the woman branded a terrorist by authorities. After the banishment, Winnie returned to an even more chaotic Johannesburg. In 1986, she founded Mandela Union Football Club. The idea was to occupy unemployed youth with recreation activities. The club later turned into a thuggish group, according to committee findings in 1997. Some club members descended on individuals and beat them up. One of them, Jerry Richardson, was convicted of causing death of James Saipe, also known as Stompie Mwakesi, in 1989. Stompie was a teenage activist of United Democratic Front, an anti-apartheid organization that was founded in 1983. The young Stompie joined the organization in the mid-80s at the age of 10. He was arrested and became the youngest political detainee at the age of 11. Richardson claimed he acted on Winnie's order because the boy had turned into a police informer. Winnie has since denied any involvement in Stompie's murder. However, in 1991, she was convicted of kidnapping and being an accessory to the assault of the young Stompie. In 1997, retired Archbishop Desmond Tutu, as chairman of South Africa's Truth and Reconciliation Commission, compelled Winnie to apologize for her high-handed actions as an activist, and she said things had gone horribly wrong and she was deeply sorry. Madikizela has had her fair share of stints in court. In 2003, she was convicted on 43 counts of fraud and 25 of theft. The charges arose from a funeral insurance that applicants never benefited from after paying millions of rands. She got a 3-year suspended custodial sentence. She was born in 1936 in Mbogweni, Transkei, to teach her parents. She went to a local school in Bizana, from where she proceeded to study social work at Jan Hofmeyr School in Johannesburg. In 1956, she got a degree in international relations from the University of Witwatersrand.